Are you ready for the unexpected? Here we go. Number 9, bathing. In medieval Europe, it was practically a crime scene. Public bathhouses weren't just for washing, they were hotbeds of sin, disease, and death. When the Black Death swept through in the 14th century, doctors said hot water opened your pores like doors. Steam rising from hot baths looked like poison escaping into the lungs. Cities panicked and banned bathing. The consequences were grotesque. Without bathing, skin diseases exploded. People's bodies were crawling with lice fleas and maggots that hatched in untreated wounds. Scabs layered over scabs, infections oozed, and scratching often dug down to bone. Families shared a single bath until the water turned into greasy, bubbling muck that could choke you if you inhaled it too long. After bans, many didn't even bother. The stench of entire neighborhoods became so thick it clung to your clothes for days. Number 8, growing a beard. Facial hair is hipster fashion today. In the past, it was rebellion. Roman emperors and medieval kings demanded clean-shaven faces to show loyalty. Grow a beard without permission, and you risked punishment. Peter the Great of Russia took this to psychotic levels. He imposed a beard tax. If you wanted to keep your beard, you had to pay up and carry a special coin saying, "The beard is a useless burden." Forget your token, and police could shave you in public, or worse, accuse you of treason. Peter himself would sometimes walk around with rusty razors, dragging nobles into line and shaving their faces by force. And if they resisted, off with their heads. Imagine paying a monthly subscription just to keep your own facial hair. That's not grooming. That's extortion with a razor. Number 7, washing your hands. In the 1800s, Hungarian doctor Ignaz Semmelweis noticed something horrifying. Women giving birth in hospitals had insanely high death rates. He realized doctors were going straight from dissecting corpses to delivering babies without washing. He ordered them to wash their hands in chlorine water, and the death rate plummeted from 18% to 2%. You'd think people would thank him. Instead, they ruined him. Doctors were offended, saying gentlemen don't have dirty hands. They took pride in their bloody coats, seeing them as badges of honor. Semmelweis was fired, blacklisted, and eventually locked in an asylum where guards beat him to death. All because he suggested doctors should clean up before touching patients. Today, washing your hands is the bare minimum. Back then, it was career suicide. Number 6, wearing purple. Want to flex today? You throw on Gucci. Back in ancient Rome, you wore purple. But here's the catch: if you weren't the emperor, wearing purple could get you executed. Purple dye came from a tiny sea snail called murex. It took around 12,000 snails to make a single gram of dye. Workers had to crack open each snail, squeeze out the juice, and let it rot in the sun for days. The stench was legendary, but the result was a color that never faded. That's why purple became a royal monopoly. It was so expensive that a single purple toga could cost more than a house. Roman emperors passed strict laws banning anyone else from wearing it. Special inspectors patrolled the streets checking citizens' outfits. Even a thin purple stripe could get you hauled off to execution, or worse, fed to lions. Today you can stroll into Walmart wearing purple sweatpants and nobody cares. Back then you were basically wearing treason. Number 5, marrying outside your class. Romantic comedies would have been horror movies in the past. Love across social classes was forbidden, sometimes punishable by death. Marry beneath you and your family might stage a fake funeral, declaring you dead rather than admit you married down. In 18th century England, noble families sometimes kidnapped their children to stop them from eloping with servants. In other cases, they locked them in countryside houses until they gave up. Kids born from mixed marriages were often denied inheritance. And in some cultures, the punishment for disobeying family marriage rules was execution. Honor killings before the term even existed. Today, the worst case is an awkward Thanksgiving dinner. Back then, love could literally kill you. Number 4, eating potatoes. Potatoes are comfort food now, but they were once seen as straight-up poison. When Europeans first saw them in the 1500s, they hated them. People claimed potatoes caused leprosy, sterility, or even witchcraft. In 1748, the French Parliament actually banned potato cultivation. Doctors in Paris declared them unfit for human consumption. Farmers who planted them risked prison or worse. The potato revolution only happened thanks to Antoine Parmentier, a French pharmacist who launched history's greatest PR campaign. He held fancy dinners for nobles, where every dish from bread to dessert was made with potatoes. He even hired guards to protect potato fields by day, then told them to disappear at night so peasants would sneak in and steal them. Reverse psychology worked, and potatoes spread across Europe. Without his stunts, your fries, chips, and vodka might still be illegal contraband. Number 3, kissing in public. Kissing in public today is normal, maybe even cute. In Renaissance Europe, it could get you executed. In 1562, the city of Naples banned public kissing under penalty of death. Yes, death just for kissing. Officials thought it spread the plague. They even sent guards into the streets to catch couples in the act. Get caught, and your head might end up on a spike. England joined in too. In 1439, King Henry VI banned kissing across the entire kingdom. His reasoning kissing spreads disease. This from a king who later lost his mind and stared at walls for years. Not exactly Dr. Fauci. Even modern bans happened. In 1910, France banned kissing at train stations because couples took so long to say goodbye that trains couldn't leave on time. Number 2, skipping church. Missing Sunday service today means you sleep in. In the Middle Ages, it meant you might be whipped, jailed, or even executed. The church wasn't just spiritual, it was the law. Skip a service and church officials assumed you were a heretic or plotting rebellion. They even had church police patrolling the streets to catch absentees. Punishments escalated fast. First offense, fines. Second, public whipping. Keep skipping and they'd assume you were worshiping demons in the woods. Witch trials often started with, "She doesn't come to church." In colonial America, skipping church could land you in the stocks with rotten food thrown at your face. In England, recusancy laws fined Catholics so heavily for missing Anglican services that many lost their homes. Number 1, falling asleep in church. Even worse than skipping church, falling asleep in one. Medieval churches hired tithing men armed with long sticks. Their sole job was to patrol the aisles and smack anyone who looked sleepy. Men got poked with sharp ends. Women got whacked with padded ones. Chivalry-right Puritans believed dozing off in church meant the devil had you. In some towns, repeat offenders were locked in special cages outside the church, so everyone could laugh at them on the way in. We like to think the past was just dusty castles and funny hats, but it was also a minefield of deadly rules for doing totally normal stuff. Bathing suspicious, wearing purple treason, kissing execution. It's insane to realize how many daily habits were once death sentences. But at least we can eat potatoes, cuddle our pets, and wash our hands without fear of being burned at the stake.